My name is Mahdi Shaheeb Sher. My website is www.mahdishaheebsher.com. I think one of my interests in the world is the Russia Federation. I think we've had the Russia Federation following the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1993, and I think that with the Russia Federation, it's been kind of like an American federation. I think that's what the Russia Federation is, an American federation. So I think that Russia is very much influenced and dominated by America. Vladimir Putin is elected by George W. Bush as well, so I think he is an American president. I think most of the infrastructure in Russia is American as well. I think America has a big presence in Russia and a very permanent and active presence in Russia. Russia no longer has an intelligence agency or the KGB, it has the FSB, which is a police authority. So it doesn't have an intelligence agency, and that's very humiliating and sad as well, because Russia pioneered intelligence agencies around the world just on its own accord. And I think for it to not have an intelligence agency now is a bit humiliating. But I think Russia did find itself in a humiliating condition following the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1993. And I think it had to suffer a huge loss to its prestige and patriotism as a country, because I think the Soviet Union conquered the world twice over with its technology and space flight into space, and the number of tanks it had in the world, and the fact that it shook the West to its knees. But if you look at how the Russia Federation found itself following the collapse, it was a big drop and a big collapse. It wasn't just a small collapse or a drop, it was a very big drop. It was like a 1,000-foot cliff drop. So I think they found themselves in a condition of huge deprivation and humiliation, because they pretty much lost everything, all the military, the money, and the infrastructure as well. And instead they found conditions of Russian mail-order brides, Russian organized crime like the mafia to run its economy. It found an alcohol problem within its public, and that's very serious for Russians to kind of decay like that. So I think that is very serious, and I think that the Russia Federation having to beg at the knees of America now is especially humiliating because of its background and presence in challenging America. So it is a little bit difficult to see that, because obviously it challenged America very strongly and very well, and for it to be on its knees to America in such deprivation and humiliation as well kind of detracts most of what it had with its strength against America. So it's kind of lost half of the Cold War with that as well. I think it has. It's lost a lot of it. I think it has. So I think that Russia has found difficult circumstances in recent times, in modern times. So it is sad to see Russia kind of exit the world as a strong power, maybe not as a major power, but certainly as a strong power. It can never challenge America with that kind of strength again, and it has maybe 20% of the strength it has to challenge America. So it can only challenge America with weak means rather than strong means. that the Soviet Union was of course known for. So I think that that is quite important as well, and that is a little bit difficult. Russia doesn't have an economy anymore. It doesn't have much of a military, only a display showroom type military where it showcases it just to show it has a military, but it doesn't have all of the requirements of a military, just a small portion of it, and that's usually with the tanks. So I think that it's a bit difficult with that, and I think that's quite disturbing to see. Thank you.